What's up, guys? My name is Lauren and welcome back to my channel where we talk about money and mindset as well as my family's own journey to pay off six-figure debt. So we are going over my family's budget for October 2022, and October was actually a really good month for us. Life has been crazy, with a newborn, and if you're not familiar with my channel, I have a 3-year-old and a newborn, and I am a stay-at-home mom that does YouTube part-time, and my husband works full-time. So yeah, it's just been really crazy adjusting to this new life with 2 kids, but we were able to stay on track this month, and we had some extra income come in that helped us stay on top of some things. So we'll get into all the details. So let's look starting with our income. By the way, my newborn is being super crazy in the background. She's downstairs. I'm upstairs with the door closed, and I can hear her like so loudly. So I don't know if you guys can, but hopefully you think those noises are cute and not distracting. So anyway, total income we budgeted for October was $7,736, but we actually brought in $9,328. So that was a difference of $1,592. That was quite a big difference for our budget this month, which was awesome because we had some other expenses that are coming up for medical stuff, and I'll talk about that when we get to the sinking funds. But yeah, and by the way, this is net income, so income after taxes and insurance and everything comes out. Next, going to pay yourself first, which is investing. Paying yourself first is so important to make sure you're using your money to increase your net worth every single month by investing. So I put it front and center in this budget. So for us, pay yourself first this month was investing to my Roth IRA, and we budgeted $250, and because we did have higher income this month, we put an extra $300 above and beyond what we planned to send to the Roth IRA. So we were able to put $550 to my Roth IRA. So like I said, that was an extra $300 this month. So that was super exciting. I am trying to max out my Roth IRA for 2022. We do have until April of 2023 to get that done, but obviously I'd like to get it done as soon as possible to make sure we even make that deadline. So yeah, we put $550 to my Roth IRA, and we are at, let me check for you guys how much we're at. I think we're at about $1,500. I think it's $1,495 that I've put into my Roth IRA, and the limit for 2022 is $6,000 if you are under 50. I believe if you're 50 or older, it's more. I think it's $7,000, and those numbers did change for 2023. But anyway, so $6,000. I'm about 25% of the way there, so definitely need to hustle to get that funded before the deadline, but definitely sending an extra $300 this month helped for sure. So next to debt, we've got my husband's student loan is our only debt left on our debt-free journey. We are closing in on the end of year 3 of our debt-free journey. Oh my gosh, I can't even believe that we've done 3 full years of paying off debt every single month. I've documented most of it here on my channel, and I can't believe how much time has passed. So student loan payment, whose minimum payment is $830, so we made that payment, and we made an extra debt payment of just $20, so that was $850 that went towards debt payments this month. And we did not end up putting anything extra from the extra income, so you can see the difference there is 0 for our debt payments. Let's go over to our expenses. So for expenses, we've got some fixed expenses, which are condo fee, our mortgage, life insurance, internet, home security, car insurance, cell phone, and Spotify, and then some variable expenses, which are groceries and gas and miscellaneous. So groceries, we were right on budget. We only went over by $4. That counts as being on budget for groceries. So, this includes for our family of 4, which our newborn doesn't eat anything yet, but our family of 3 and a newborn, and this covers everything from food to takeout to household items like toilet paper or dish soap and stuff like that. So inflation has been wild. I'm sure everybody's feeling it. We've been feeling it for a while, so staying on budget with groceries is really hard. I do a couple things to help with that. One, I do grocery pickup. There's a $3 fee at my grocery store to do that, but I find that it saves me so much money from those impulse purchases. So that's one tip I would have if you guys are struggling with grocery costs, do a grocery pickup. And then also the nice thing about that is you already know how much you're spending before you pay, because it's online and you get to take your time and look at your meal plan and just pick out everything you need. Plus it saves you time, and for me, it would take probably an hour to do our grocery shopping in the store, and that's not counting like making the meal plan, putting it all away when I get home. So $3 I feel like is so worth it for that fee that I pay. So I guess we do that usually 4 times a month, so it's like $12 a month, but still like such a worthwhile fee, I think. And then also I use the app Fetch Rewards, so I have it hooked up to my email and my Amazon, and so every time I place any orders for like household stuff or get groceries or anything, I upload my receipts, whether it's like e-receipt or actually snapping a picture of it, and that gives me like cash back that I use towards groceries and other things. So those are a couple things that we do, and so I'll link Fetch Rewards below if you guys want to check it out if you haven't downloaded it yet. Using my link, you'll get a bonus 2,000 points, which is worth $2. So that'll be linked below and in the comments. Next, for gas, we spent $190. $200 a month has been about working for us, so $190 this month, so we were a little under budget on gas. And then for miscellaneous, we did go over quite a bit. It was over by $98. So on the one hand, this is like, whoops, we kind of screwed up, but on the other hand, the situation, what happened was there was a social situation where we didn't want to be cheap, and so we put out more money than we had expected for that social event, and we just hadn't planned for it. It was kind of like snuck up on us. So yeah, we put it in miscellaneous because it really didn't fit any of the other budget categories, but it wasn't like something where we just bought too much on Amazon. It was just like a random situation. I don't know, do you guys run into this where there are lots of people in your life who aren't on the budgeting train or don't really get what you're doing with budgeting and debt payoff and debt-free journey and like financial responsibility and not impulse spending, and then like you find it difficult to have relationships with them or do lots of social things with them because they don't get how you treat money versus how they treat money, and it creates like a weird thing sometimes. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that, but it's really hard because like you want people to be supportive of this really important thing you're doing, but like it's kind of not their fault that they're stuck in a spending cycle and they don't even realize that they're hurting themselves by doing it. So anyway, yeah, that's what happened there. It's not a big deal. I mean, we had extra income this month, so especially wasn't a big deal, but we try to stay on budget pretty well, as you can see. So, you know, I don't like seeing us go over budget, but again, it wasn't something where we like just did some reckless spending or something. So total for expenses, we spent $3,908 this month. So that was over by $92. Finally, to the sinking funds, which is my favorite part of the budget. So for this month, for emergency fund, we didn't budget anything, and for vacation fund, we didn't budget anything, but we did take a bulk of that extra income and put it towards medical expenses this month, or a medical expense sinking fund. So for our insurance, we have 4 people in our household, and so each person's deductible is $750, so that's $3,000. Plus, if we need contacts or like extra dental work or things like that, or there's just co-pays for therapy visits or chiropractor visits, all those are all things that we do. That's not from the deductible. So we had an FSA that was almost $3,000 through my husband's work, and that's pre-tax medical spending we could do this year. And I thought that was going to cover everything because our total deductible is only $3,000, but I forgot about the co-pays and all the other stuff. So we are running out of money for medical, and so I started putting money in a medical sinking fund so we make sure we have enough to cover everything that we need for medical. So $1,000 there. Going forward, I'm going to probably try to put about $3,000 per year in that sinking fund because that's what I estimate we would need if the insurance situation doesn't change for our family to like be very certain everything is covered. Which, when you think about it, $6,000 for medical for the year, like for a family of 4, is not bad, but that's like a whole Roth IRA funded. So it's just, yeah, all these things that come up when you like start growing your family, all these expenses that you know you're gonna have to deal with, but then when it's actually here, you're like, shoot, that's expensive. So anyway, medical is really important. We want to make sure we have money for our medical bills. So that's that sinking fund. We did spend $185 out of that sinking fund this month, so we're left with $815 in there. And then the next 4 categories are just my family's spending money, so I block that up for privacy. And then for girls' activities / preschool, we budget $1,000. We did spend $913, and that sinking fund did start out at a negative $78 this month. So we ended with a positive $9 in this account. And actually, before I go on, I just want to take a second and look at all these ending balances. Like, there are no negative numbers on these ending balances, and that's something we were struggling with throughout this year because of inflation and other factors. And just the fact that we're heading towards the end of the year, closing out this year with nice looking sinking funds, it's making me really, really happy. So I just wanted to point that out. Okay, next for miles expenses, we budgeted $200. We didn't spend anything this month, and we ended with $229 in there. But I am going to have to adjust the sinking fund because I just placed an order for his food and it was so expensive. And I did the math and calculated out how much per month we're spending on food alone, and it's $180. I swear it used to be like $80, and it's more than doubled over the past year. And so I'm going to have to increase this sinking fund significantly. It might need to be closer to $300. I don't know. We'll have to kind of see how it goes. But $200, obviously, if his food is $180 a month, is not going to cover it because then there's his pet insurance, cat litter, his vet visits, his flea treatment. Like there's so many other things that we have to pay for him, which we're happy to do because we love him. But like we need to make sure we're putting enough aside for it. So we will be keeping an eye on that and making adjustments as we need to. And then for gifts, we budgeted $100. We only spent $69, and so we have $147 left in that fund. Next, for car maintenance, we budgeted $50. We did spend $77 to renew our it's not registration, there's another thing, our inspection stickers. That's what it was. So both our cars were up for inspection, my husband and I. So we did do those inspections, and so now we have $231 in that fund. Next, for house maintenance, this is where some of that extra income went. We had started with a balance of negative $512, and that was partially because, or mostly because, we had to replace our dishwasher a couple months back. So we had budgeted $470 and actually put $590 into this fund to get it positive. We did spend $66, but we did end with a positive $12 in there. So that one has recovered. Really happy about that. Next, we've got our utilities. We budgeted $400. We spent $644, which I knew this was going to be an expensive month because we paid all four this month. Gas is monthly, electric is monthly, but we also had to pay sewer, which is twice a year, and water, that's quarterly. I believe that's how it is. So we had all four of those bills this month. So $644 to utilities, but we still ended with a positive $146 in this fund. And then finally, for birthdays / Christmas, we budgeted $100. We spent $155, and we have $373 in there. So we've already started doing our Christmas shopping, and I got dresses for the girls for Christmas to do our family picture, and we got like matching family Christmas PJs and all that stuff. So it's been really fun starting to get in the holiday spirit. Do you guys start kind of celebrating and decorating and getting ready for Christmas like before Thanksgiving or after Thanksgiving? I never was a person to be ahead with Christmas stuff until like the past few years. I think with kids and just having more family and extended family with kids, it just got to be overwhelming to try to do it all in the couple weeks leading up to Christmas. So now I like to start like way ahead of time and really enjoy and like stretch that holiday season. And that's why I love having the sinking fund too, because we get to use money like earlier in the year to be able to start buying Christmas things. But yeah, do you guys start early or are you like last minute when it comes to Christmas? I'm curious. Comment below and let me know. So let's look at the progress made in our sinking funds this month. So we started out with $9,693 in our sinking funds. I like to keep this more around like $11,000 to $12,000. And so we budgeted $2,820, but we actually put in $4,020. And then we only spent $2,483. So that left us with a balance of $11,230. So we are finally in the $11,000 to $12,000 range. Now, in reality, this is essentially our emergency fund. Like technically our emergency fund is only $7,500, but if something were to happen and we needed more money quickly, like all these sinking funds are money that we could use for any like necessary expenses. So I really like keeping this number a little bit higher. And I've been thinking about whether we should bump up our emergency fund because there's just so much news of like recession and layoffs and stuff like that. But it's really hard because I also really want to keep paying down our debt because debt is risky to have. And, you know, once that payment's gone, it opens up your cash flow a lot. And then the other thing is I really want to invest 15% to retirement. And those are kind of like the three big things we would put our money towards. Like our three big money goals are to invest 15% for retirement, pay off our debt, and potentially increase our emergency fund. So I think for now, we're going to leave it where it is. It is bumped up a little bit, although, you know, the money's in here because we expect to spend it. So this went up so much because, for example, we put $1,000 in a medical sinking fund that I expect we're going to need to use. So this won't stay higher, you know, as those expenses come up. But I think for now, we're going to keep it like this and keep working towards our investing and debt payoff goals and just kind of like take it month by month and see how we're feeling and see what opportunities we have to increase income and stuff like that. So how are you guys feeling about your emergency funds right now? Do you have one? Do you want to increase it? If you do, like, what are you guys doing around emergency funds? Because I know it's kind of a hot topic right now. So finally, looking at our budgeted summary versus our actual summary, I'm not going to go through all the numbers, but just quickly, you can see that this purple and pink section, which are our essentially expenses, our debt and our expenses, were more than half of where we were going to put our money when we budgeted this month, and our sinking funds and pay ourselves first, which are more like our investing and savings, was less than half, and then we ended up doing it more like half and half. So if you look at this, it's more of like a half went to expenses and half went to saving and investing. And that was really because we were able to use that extra income to put towards sinking funds, investing, and we just went over on our expenses a tiny bit from that miscellaneous expense. But other than that, it was mostly money we could like use to level up our finances this month, which was awesome. You can see up here that our left to budget is 0. And that's because when I set our budget every month, I make sure that whatever our income is, we allocate every dollar of that for an expense or pay yourself first or debt or something like that. So it all evens out to 0. And then the way I reconcile my budget is I record each number we actually do in each category throughout the month and make sure whatever actual income we received, whether it's higher or lower, equals out to the actual expenses and everything that we have for that month. So that's why the left to spend actual is also 0. So that is it for this month's budget. I hope you guys enjoyed. I don't remember if I mentioned this earlier in the video, but if you like this spreadsheet, you can get it for yourself in my Etsy shop. It's an instant download to Google Sheets, and it comes with a detailed video tutorial along with me every single month showing you how we use it for our own family budget. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, as always, give it a big thumbs up. It really helps out my channel, and I will talk to you guys soon in the next one. Bye.